Okay, guys, now that the dust has settled and Big Brother is done, let's talk. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, about who the Queen of Bazozwa is. Because the title, okay, Liema won, but Italians are claiming that the Queen of Bazozwa is Tandeka, also herself. She's claiming that she is the Queen of Bazozwa, but who actually is the Queen of Bazozwa? I'm gonna give my own opinions. If you are hurt because I'm gonna say something about your face, I'm sorry. Okay, it's only opinions. They don't really matter. I mean, the show is done and dusted. Okay, so who I think is the Queen of Bazozwa, guys? I think for me, having watched the show from the beginning to the end, and according to the theme, I would give it to Tandeka. Reason being that she lived up to the theme Bazozwa, you know. And Biggie kept on confusing us by bringing redemption. So we ended up being like they said it's a redemption season, but also the theme is Bazozwa. So they kept on confusing us whether it's Bazozwa or whether it's redemption. You know, I feel like from the start, what he didn't really do things well. If he wanted it to be redemption, I feel like he should have called all those housemates who were disqualified, KB, Boyolanda, and people that didn't make it far in the show, people that left early, kind of like make all stars, and then the theme be redemption. You understand? So it would have made sense in that way, other than bringing new people and then bringing old people and then you say it's redemption. For me, it doesn't make sense. I feel like you should have just done All Stars season and then said the theme is redemption. You understand? Other than making a new season whereby you bring new and old housemates and then give the theme Bazozwa, but then you also say it's redemption, doesn't make sense to me. So Big Brother actually didn't sit down and make a great foundation for the season. That is why maybe it was really boring and all over the place. So I feel like you should have just said it's Bazozwa and leave the redemption out of the show, because you can't be saying it's Bazozwa and then you say it's redemption. You were confusing us. Or maybe it was redemption for the old housemates and then Bazozwa for the new housemate. I don't understand. I got confused right there. So yeah, man. I feel like you should have done All Star season. Call all those disqualified housemates. Call those housemates who didn't make it far in the show. People we can't even remember their names. You understand? People who left early. People without anything going on in their lives right now. People without even 50K followers. You understand? And give them that chance. People that got disqualified. Bo KB, Bo Yolanda, Bo Man. So you should have gave them that all-star season and say it's a redemption. You understand? Because I don't understand how is Bazzoza and then Jiggy Jiggy is redemption. How? How? Like Biggie tell us. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And should the retainees were not in the show, I feel like things would have turned out the way we thought, the way housemates thought. You understand? Because now seeing the polls, the poll was out. It got out yesterday. If you didn't check, go to DSTV app and you will see the polls for all those weeks that you have been voting. I didn't post all of them here, but you can go on the TV app and check. All those weeks, Tandeka was dominating. It was only week 5 and week 9 where she didn't dominate. And I will elaborate why I think she didn't win in the last days and why in the 5th week she lacked. I feel like in the 5th week, the reason why she lacked, the reason why she was topped by Liema, I think is that week where she washed her face in a sink. I think that's where she lost maybe some Italians. Because obviously, even if you love her, there are some people who draw the line, you understand, who says, now I'm done. I feel like she lost some fans there. And then in that week where she washed her face in the sink, and also had haters, choosing sides, picking sides, and then they went to Liema. You understand? Because I've been seeing some people on Facebook on their comments, especially Zulus, saying that they are voting for Liema and Bravo B because uyabahlaza nje uThandeka, she's embarrassing them and stuff because of the sync thing. So I think that is why in that week 5 she lost a bit, and then she became a runner up. And then okay, move along to week 9. Excuse me. Moving on to week 9, I think also talents tried. So like in week 9 they really pushed. So I can confirm that talents is a huge fan base, you understand, because they did that alone, considering the fact that Melly's people thought Melly's people are gonna vote for Melly, and I feel like the sharing of votes, oh yes, in that week 5 as well, if I'm not mistaken, Melly was also up. I feel like they shared votes as well. That is why she was a runner up. So I think they also shared votes between her and Melly because people were screaming, Melly must leave. So they felt the need to save Melly. And the thing is, Melly's people were not saving Thandeka. They were not voting for Thandeka. They were not rooting for Thandeka. Even his handler didn't post Thandeka on Melly's Instagram. So they were not, even when on the finals, they were not campaigning votes for Thandeka. You understand? She was not even posted on his Instagram. But Italians carried Melly along. And to my surprise, Trixie was even stronger than Melly and Bravo B. Trixie was the underdog of this season. Trixie really did good. Like, I always thought maybe it's Bravo B's people that are like saving Trixie and stuff. But seeing the polls, I'm like, what? She actually is the underdog of the season, because I never thought she's the top 4. I never thought she's up there. And I was surprised to see her up there. I'm like, what? She's even stronger than Melly and Bravo B. All along I thought Bravo B carried Trixie. But looking at the polls, I'm like, no, it's actually the other way around. Trixie carried Bravo B because on the last days, on that time she won the ice bath, she was not upright and Bravo B was up. And the week before, he was in the bottom 3 because they were both up with Trixie. But then that day, Bravo B was saved and he was automatically to the finals. And looking at it now, I'm like, oh, people thought Trixie is actually carried by Bravo B, but it's the other way around. Bravo B was carried by Trixie. I'm like, what? This girl is actually strong. She's actually strong. She actually stronger than Melly and Bravo B. And then there was a time I was just looking at Melly's comments on Instagram. His people left him for other housemates. because he was associating himself with Tandeka. Remember, they voted for him to be in the house. So now they got disappointed because he got into the house and became a handbag, right? So people were so disappointed that they moved from him to other housemates. And I feel like Meli could have won. Meli could have been up there. If not winning, he could have been a runner-up. Because really, he was loved in Titans. But because of Jenny O, he left in the third week. And he said, even on the interview with Yolanda and Yaya, that some people told him they had to sacrifice him because they didn't like Jenny O in that season. But then I'm like, Melly, okay, fine. You seem like you didn't learn a lesson. You go into the house for the second time for a second chance. That time you were paired with Jenny O. You go into the house for the second time, and then now you have a girlfriend, right? It's not wrong to be in love. It's not wrong to like strategize and stuff like that. But then now you got a second chance. You gotta change the game and play it alone. You were paired in your season, and now it's like you are pairing yourself, you know. So he kind of like became a shadow, and he kind of like got to be overshadowed by even people like Trixie. I'm like, what? It means advocates really did move on. They really didn't stand by Melly. They really shifted. They wanted Melly to play the game alone this season. And Melly also had a big fan base in Titans. But also they sacrificed him because of Jenny O. Remember, he carried Jenny O up until that third week. Jenny O would have left if she was by herself. She would have left a long time ago. But people carried her until they got tired and then had to sacrifice Melly. Melly had a good chance to be a finalist even in Titans. But then the second time around, Aibo, Melly attached himself to Tandega, and then now Tandega is not loved by so many people. Apart from that, she has more fans than Jenny O. You understand? And if you watch Titans, basically Tandega is actually worse than Jenny O. If you watched Titans, you understand? But then Melly got attached to her, and then now advocates moved to other people. They moved to other people, and then Melly now he's lacking, he's lacking, he's behind, and all that. Even Trixie was, I'm like shocked. What? Trixie's above Melly and Bravo B. I got shocked. I'm like, what? Okay, moving along. Now we saw Q being number 2, whereas Ashe was number 2 in some week. And then I think that controversy that happened with him and Liema moved him a bit down below. And also the fact that he wasn't standing a lot of times. He was an HOH 3 times. The more you stand up, the more you become stronger, and the more you're not standing, the more your fan base weakens. It weakens because people relax. It weakens because people move to other people. They become bored, man. They want you to challenge them so they can keep voting for you, you understand? So I kind of like feel like they got bored and moved to other people, you understand? And then Q now became the runner-up. Tandeka, Q, Tandeka, Q, Tandeka, Q. And I feel like if the returnees were not there, Q and Tandeka would have been the top 2. Tandeka would have won, Q would have been the runner-up. Because that's how it is. Even on the other poll, where you can see how the top 6 did, not official polls, but where did you find that? I forgot the website. You can see that it would have been Q and Tandeka, you understand? And I did reshuffle my top six, sorry, on the thing, on the post. If you can check on the post there, I did reshuffle my top six. So if the returnees were not there, top six would have been Tandeka, Q, Kinwanda, Didi, and Trixie and Bravo B. No, I said the returnees if they were not back. So it would be Tandeka, Didi, Q, Trixie, Kinwanda, and who else? Who am I leaving behind? Ashay. And then Tandeka would have won. Q would have been number 2. Trixie would have been number 3. Ashay number 4. Didi 5. And lastly would have had Kinwanda. So that would be the actual top 6 if we didn't have the returnees. Now, what made Liema win? I feel like she was not the strongest this season. The strongest was Tandeka and Q. And the reason being that she was always the runner up until week 5. And then where Tandeka was doing the sync thing, and maybe people just felt like it's disgusting, and maybe voted more for Liema because she stood up for people and all that. And then week 9 as well, they didn't want Tandeka to win. Obviously, they wanted Liema to win, and I feel like the Hlangana Zulu thing, they Hlanganat for Bravo B, and left Tandega behind. Also, I feel like there's Talians. Something tells me that some Talians voted for Bravo B, especially Zulus, because Zulus are people with pride, and they are people that don't want to be represented in a bad way. So I feel like they didn't want Tandeka to carry the win. So some, not only Italians, some Zulu people voted also for Liema. I'm not talking about Italians now. I'm talking about haters, arisers. I feel like they voted for Liema and left Tandeka behind. And then some haters voted for Bravo B, and also maybe some Italians voted for Bravo B, so that it cannot be at the bottom or leave. And then they actually thought maybe Liema and Bravo B will be top 2, because they didn't want to be, Zulus have pride, guys, to be honest. That tribe has pride. So I feel like they didn't want Tandeka to win. They didn't want to be, they had to sacrifice her, you understand, in order not to be represented in a bad way, you understand. So I feel like that's what they did. Otherwise, if it was Bravo B who was at the top, maybe they would have sacrificed and voted for Bravo B so it can be. Actually, they wanted him to be top 2. Wasn't he top? Yeah, they wanted him to be top 2. Unfortunately, Tandega is strong, guys. Tandega is strong. She's stronger than Lily's. Lily's were actually helped by alliances. And I always give it to Italians, because Italians did it alone. Italians didn't have alliances. And there were people asking, how she couldn't win because they couldn't even save Melly. I'm like, what? Melly's people didn't vote for Tandeka. You understand? It's only Italians who saved Melly and Tandeka. And in that week 5, it's Italians who actually saved Melly. That's why Tandeka was number 2. Melly's people never rooted for Tandeka. Melly's people never liked Tandeka. They never rooted for her. They never posted Tandeka even on Melly's Instagram, you understand? Because they felt like she used Melly for her game. They felt like Melly became her handbag and they lost the plot. You understand? So I feel like, guys, Tandeka is the Bazozwa. She's the Bazozwa because of the theme. She's the Bazozwa. She lived up to the theme. She's the Bazozwa. She topped the polls. And apart from those hiccups, and even the gap between the winner and the runner-up is not huge. We have seen gaps in Sweet Guluva season. We have seen gaps. If you watch Big Brother Niger, you will know. You will know there's no such results in Big Brother Niger. In Big Brother Niger, a winner is it's maybe 7%. There's a gap of 7% or 11% between the winner and the runner-up. There's no 3 or 4%. No, no. You see, so it comes to that question of who is the Queen of Bazozwa. So for me, it's Thandeka. You can have your own opinion, okay? It's allowed. But for me, it will always be Thandeka. The reason why she's also saying she is the Bazozwa. One thing about Thandeka is that she will stay to her truth. She will stay to her truth. She doesn't care how you feel. She will say it as it is. And that's how, unfortunately, even haters can hate. But we all know the truth that Thandeka is the Bazozwa queen, and she topped all those polls apart from the week 5 where she had to save Melly and people also shifted and stuff like that. There was a hiccup here and there. And finals, obviously she didn't have any alliances. It was only talents. Melly's people voted for Liema. uh, all those people voted for Liema, and Trixie, Liema's friend, she was on top 4. So actually, Trixie, if Trixie's people didn't vote for Liema or she wasn't associated with Liema, Trixie could have been top 3. Why? Because she was surpassing Bravo B with votes. She was actually strong on her own. She would have surpassed Bravo B. She would have been number 3. And Bravo B number 4. Didi could have left long time ago if Lilies didn't vote for her then. I also voted for Didi and I'm not a fan. But I also did because I wanted to see her in the finals. You understand? I'm not Zulu, I'm not Xhosa. You understand? So she had to represent the Sotho-Tswana people. And when I say Sotho-Tswana, I'm talking about the Sothos, the Tswanas, and Bapedi people. She had to be there. You understand? Not only Nguni people. So I actually voted for that reason. She's not my favorite, but I wanted her there. You understand? Just like I voted for Jojo last year, I felt like I needed to be there, Mugele, and represent other people. And I just loved Jojo. So I had to put her in the finals, yes. And that. So, yeah. Trixie was strong. Like, Trixie was strong, guys. Top 4. And she could have been top 3 if her people didn't share votes. And unfortunately, even if you don't want to hear this, Liema and Didi and Trixie actually helped Liema to win the game. Liema's people were no longer strong. Remember, she was in the show 2 years ago, and some lilies had left to some people. There's no way you can be loyal to someone up until. No. If there's a new fave you like, you move to the new fave. You understand? Truth is, fans do move on. Unless you don't like the new faves. But fans do move on. So most of the lilies left her for Thandeka, and they were scattered around to other people, other housemates as well. And then now she had her lilies that were left, and she now gained haters of Thandeka, arisers, people who are just floating, who doesn't know who they want to vote for. And then she now formed a clique. That girl is smart. One thing about Liema, she's a game player, guys. She has been there before, and she played Thandeka. She played also the girls she was with, the mean girls. You understand? She studied the 2 weeks that she was there, and she was a sofa, a coach. She was watching and observing and planning. And she saw that, oh, this girl Tandega likes talking too much. This girl likes fighting. This girl is fighting everyone in the house. And how can I get through her? And it's only that time. Remember, there was a time she went to Tandega. Tandega was fighting. Oh, Tandega, that day, Tandega was fighting everyone. I think about hygiene and stuff, calling them morons and all that. And then Liema went to her. She was in the bathroom. And she said, you can't say that to people. No, like, don't call us morons and all that. You know, that day, she was starting. Liema was just starting, and then she moved away. She just went away. But then that day, it was Kinwanda, where Tandeka made Kinwanda cry. I kind of like understand why Kinwanda was rooting for Liema. It's because she was kinder to him. You understand? She was kinder to him. She stood up for him. You understand? That is why, if I was in his shoes also, I would have rooted for Liema, because why wouldn't I root for someone that stood up for me? You understand what I mean? So yeah, so people are like, no, he's looking forward to record labels recognizing him and featuring Liema and all that. And I'm like, no. Actually, it's because she fought for him, guys. It's actually because she stood up for him when no one else did. You understand? So that is why he was rooting for her. And I'm not shocked. You understand? And then, anyways, let's move back to the clique. So, yeah, that girl was smart. She also formed that clique. She knew that. She kind of like knew that even though she has Lily's back, she kind of like knew that fans do move on. And fans do move on to other people as well, newcomers. So she wanted to gain, she knew what she was doing. When she went for Tandeka, she knew that there will be people that don't like Tandeka's behavior, and they will like her, arisers. You understand? Arisers are people that don't have faiths, people that just vote for anybody. So she knew that she will gain Arisers fan base. I mean, Arisers votes. So she went there knowing that Tandeka will react, and obviously people will glorify her outside, and she's gonna gain Arisers votes. And then obviously she formed the clique, and she I kind of like feel like the clique happened unexpected. You understand? And she took advantage of that because she knew that they will add to the remaining lilies that she has so she can win the show. So that girl was smart. People thought Melly is smart. They said, Melly is smart. Give it to Liema. Melly was never smart in Titans. He cannot start being smart in Bazozwa. People kept on saying Melly is smart. Even the left housemates who were evicted said Melly is smart. Melly, no. No. Melly was just being Melly. And in this season, Melly should have taken the word redemption serious and not involve himself with anybody. Because in Titans, you were involved with someone, you were grouped with someone, and you didn't have a choice. Even your people told you they had to sacrifice you in order for Jenny O to leave, in order for your partner to leave. You went on to second season, and then what did you do? You attached yourself with another female whom people don't like their behavior. All right. And then, okay, I understand that he said she's a fireball, and he likes trouble, he likes those kind of women. It's not wrong to fall in love, and if he likes those kind of women. And by the way, there's a video he said he likes people that are beautiful, women that are beautiful but kind of like evil. And that video is before he even went into the house. So I believe that he's actually attracted to Tandeka for real. But then you You are there to play a game. You understand? If he liked her, I feel like he shouldn't have went to date her, and he should have just been a friend. You understand? And not attach himself to her, but being her friend. And he would actually maybe propose outside the house and date her outside the house. And maybe he thought because she's behaving that way, he's attaching himself to her, and obviously people likes drama. So for him, I feel like he maybe loves her, but it was also more of a game, more of a strategy. And unfortunately, it cost him for the second time, because he should have learned a lesson with Titans to say, okay, they didn't like Jenny O because of Jenny O's bullying behavior and And then now he's on second season, and Tandega is more wise than Jenny O. You understand? She's more vocal, actually, not. I didn't really get to navigate Jenny O that much. I just heard people saying that she's a bully and all that. You understand? Yeah, and I'm very sure she had nasty attitude, but she wasn't more vocal than Tandega. You understand? So Mugai didn't learn a lesson. He went there, and he went there to what? To attach himself with another female whom people don't like much. And fortunate enough for Tandega, she gained followers more than Jenny O. She I've never seen a villain that has more fan base. You understand? I feel like she had more fan base more than even Liema. You understand? The thing is, Liema had alliances this year, but Tandega has more fans. I feel like Tandega and Q are leading with fans this year. And Trixie, yes, and Trixie would have been number 3 if there were no those second chances. And also, people sacrificed Trixie for Liema. You understand? So yeah, and then with Ashe, it was just a mixture of him not standing most of the times, and maybe some fans get bored. You understand? They move on to other people when you bore them. So I feel like some were bored, and they moved on. And some people might have been Lily's before, and then now they were Ashe's fans. And then whatever happened between Lily's and Liema and Ashe, people moved back to Liema. So I feel that's how it happened. And then yeah, man. So now, like I said, the Queen of Bazozwa for me is Tandeka. That is not debatable. You understand? Put her behavior, put the behavior. Okay, fine. The theme at the center, and put Tandeka around the theme. She's the only one who did the Bazozwa. Coming second is Q, because it was always them. Q Tandeka, and also they stood for most for from the beginning to the end of the show. It was only when Tandeka went to the finals by Ice Bath golden ticket that she was not up. She was up every week. You understand? And she's also smart because she knew that, oh, the more you stand, the more you gain followers. So she might have a bit of a character, but she overdid it so she can stand out, and also people can nominate her to test. To she kind of like has risked, you understand? Because what if she didn't have a lot of fans? You understand? So she kind of like risked, because she tested herself, she tested her fans as well. So she kind of like overdid it so that she can stand every week, she can be nominated every week. That is why she was picking on all the housemates, because she wanted to be nominated every week. And I think she studied Kosi as well, and all those winners, that okay, if you stand for a long time, that is when you actually stay and you actually win. You understand? Unfortunately, she didn't win. I feel like because she didn't have alliances, but also Italians are stronger, because they didn't have alliances. They did it by themselves. They didn't have alliances. Unlike Liema, whereby she had her left lilies, she had alliances, she had haters, she had celebrities rooting for her, she had big people rooting for her, so she had advantage more than Tandeka. But Tandeka didn't have anybody apart from talents, and she was able to be top two. She did it, man. For me, she is the Bazozwa. She is Bazozwa because of the theme bill, because of the way she carried the show. She's the trendsetter. She's been trending from the beginning of the show to the end of the show. And one thing, this show was boring more than anything. Umlilo will always be the best for me. I've never really watched the other seasons because I'm a hardcore BBN fan, and then I watched Impoba season, but here and there, and then I left it. I didn't watch up until the end, and then I actually didn't watch Siamosha. I didn't watch Siamosha, but I voted for Meg Junior, because I watched here and there, and I felt like I liked him. I actually, Siamosha is one show that I didn't sit for, guys. I don't want to lie. Sorry for that noise. It's one show that I didn't watch. Yona and Bekele Beke, I didn't really watch. Bekele Beke, I didn't finish it. I watched a bit and then I just gave up. And then Siamosha, I didn't watch. I watched clips here and there. Yeah. And then what else that I didn't watch? Oh yes, Mulilo. I watched from the beginning. I was like, wow, and then it got improving a week by week, and I stayed up until the end. I love Umlilo season, and those housemates did themselves. And after that, guess what did we have? We had many sponsors for the show. They sold that show really well. They were not toxic. They didn't form any cliques. They were just cordial. You understand? They did what they had to do for the 2 million, and outside the house they are friends, they are going places, they are talking, they don't have any problems. You understand? Apart from and then now we have this one season. Hey, this season was boring, to be honest. And if it wasn't for Tandeka, guys, people wouldn't have had storylines. People wouldn't have had, because everything is surrounded around Tandeka. And if Tandeka doesn't go for, imagine if he doesn't go for reunion, they won't have much to talk about. It will be to me the Baba and Buhle B about their breakup. And if Ashe is going, it will be Liam and Ashe also about their issue. Mainly if he's going, then they're gonna crucify him for Tandeka as well if Tandeka doesn't go. You understand? So imagine if Melly doesn't go, Tanaga doesn't go, and Ashe doesn't go. They're not gonna have any views. They're not gonna have any numbers. They work with numbers, remember. And most of the times Big Brother showed Tandeka more in this show from the beginning. And then towards the end he shifted, he showed Liema more, if you noticed. He was done with numbers. He was done with numbers. He was using her for numbers. And then once he saw that it's the final week, he shifted to Liema. That is why maybe Liema gained even more fans. And she eventually won. Big Brother also have their favorites. Even if we can say whatever, they do have their favorites as well. And if you think they're not voting as well, you're lying to yourself. They do vote. They are human beings. I mean, they do have favorites. Even ninjas, they do vote. They have favorites as well. I don't know what they are not watching. They are watching. And they're with housemates sometimes. So obviously I think they do have favorites as well. When they go home and vote under those masks. So yeah. For me, the Queen of Bazozwa will always be Tandeka, guys. She outdid herself for that show. That show was boring. That season was boring. They tried playing games. The games were like grade 2's games. Like, they were boring. You understand? So Tandeka gave everybody their storylines. Tandeka, hey, sizwile ngalo sisi loya. No matter how much you hate her, sizwile ngaye. Like, she did what she had to do. You understand? And then, of course, Liema is Queen of Bazozwa because she won. But Tandega is the actual queen because she carried the show from the beginning till the end, and she topped the polls, you know, 9 out of 10. So she is the Queen of Bazozwa for me. I'm not saying for you, don't come for me. I'm saying for me. You understand? She is the Queen of Bazozwa. So, yeah. Yeah, guys. I'm gonna love and leave you. Comment below. Tell me who's your Queen of Bazozwa. Who is your King of Bazozwa? For me, King is Q because it was always top 2 up until, yeah. And him and Tandega stood from the beginning to the end, so that makes them the King and Queen of Bazozwa. Yeah, guys, this is it from me. Stay tuned. And yeah, Big Brother Nigeria is coming in 3 months' time. I think in May they're gonna have AMVCA awards, and we're gonna see fashion, who did the best, who dressed the best, who's dressed the best, and then they're gonna have their reunion around June, and then July we're gonna have our new season 11. Stay tuned because we're gonna be doing the Mugozis here. So don't move away. Don't hit the unsubscribe thingy. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. We're gonna be here for the Mugozi, for the Gibos, Big Brother Niger. I'm gonna be dishing out, and I think I'm gonna be improving, guys, and giving you the best, the best, the best. Because right now, guys, I'm not giving the best because the season was boring. There was nothing to actually dish out. I was just fishing here and there, but I want a Big Brother Niger. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be giving you content. I'll be, So yeah, stay tuned. And then don't forget, it's coming July. June is the reunion, and soon we're gonna see who's best dressed on the AMVCA awards. And stay tuned because I'm gonna be bringing you. Oh, let me talk about something before I close. I was gonna talk about it, but I was gonna post on the post thingy, but I'm gonna talk about it anyways since I'm here. There's a controversy around Trixie's gifting. Apparently, there's people who ate money. There's people who ate, but I'm gonna post it on the let's put it on for our post, the community thing right there, so I can post even the evidence of what I'm saying from the statement from her fan base or from a manager, I mean PR. Yeah. Okay, fine, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao. Bye, bye.